If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
And I'm Torrey Smith. Very gracious with your time, Torrey. Thank you again for coming out tonight and taking some time to do this. Hey, I wanted to ask you, so earlier in the preseason, everybody was ragging on you because of a couple drops. How nice has it been to turn around and say, you guys didn't think I could catch the ball. You didn't think I could catch the ball. Look at me now.
I don't know. I guess it's all right. You always want to prove people wrong. But at the same time, Harbaugh told me as soon as I came in, he was like, don't get too high, don't get too low. And I've got to see that early. They say if you can't handle that, then you won't last long in the NFL. And I dropped those 2 balls in the Redskins game. I couldn't catch a cold. I'm a bust. And then 5-6 weeks later, I'm a hero. I'm the best draft pick the Ravens ever had. So you just don't get caught up in it. Just trust and believe in yourself and your teammates and support each other.
BA, it was really mean-spirited of you to be saying all those things about Torrey.
I know, right?
I thought that was really inappropriate for you to dog him so much.
Why are you throwing me under the bus? Now I'm dressed like Justin Bieber. You're really gonna think he has a shot at beating me up?
He might. Torrey, you were at the Maryland game on Saturday. I saw you out there. I don't know. You were one of like the 5 people that made it out.
Yeah, it was maybe 10.
Did you stick through that whole thing? And that?
I was up in a press box, so I was fine.
So you were all right.
Yeah, I was all right, but I still laughed early.
It was pretty cold this weekend. What's the coldest it's ever been when you played a football game? What's the coldest experience that you've ever had playing a football game?
Florida State, maybe my freshman year. I don't know, it was freezing, it was windy. I don't know, we had you know how it always rains at Maryland games? We had one that was...
It is bizarre. The Virginia game a couple years ago, I remember. Miserable.
I want to say NC State a few years ago was windy and cold and rain, and it was terrible.
Yeah, what's the worst weather game you've ever played in?
Man, I played in like -15 before Soldier Field in Chicago, but that really wasn't bad. The coldest I ever was in a game was the Super Bowl against Indy.
Because it was raining.
Because it was raining, and the temperature started at maybe 75 degrees, but by the time the game was over, it was like 55 degrees. So there's a 20-degree temperature drop, and then just the cold, wet rain. You were soaking wet, but you were just freezing cold because of rain. So it wasn't the coldest game that I ever played in, but it's the coldest I'd ever been in a game, in the dang Super Bowl of all games.
Yeah, right? No pressure there.
I'm thinking that was the first time it rained in the Super Bowl, too.
Right.
And we lost the game. Then I went to the Pro Bowl and lost that game, too, and Peyton Manning was in quarterback, so it was a great year that ended real bad.
It wasn't meant to be. That's what it was.
It was not meant to be.
So now you guys go to Pittsburgh on Sunday. It tends to be cold there. It's windy, the open end of the stadium. Torrey, this will be your first time going to Pittsburgh. BA, you've been there quite a few times. What do you know about Pittsburgh, and how is it different than going other places? What can you pass along to a guy like Torrey about going to play in Pittsburgh?
Just be ready. The game's going to be really close. And then in the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter, their defense is going to be on the field, and all of a sudden they're going to play their theme song. Hey, mama. You know that song?
Oh, really? I'm not really worried about it.
It's a good song that we played in practice sometimes just to get us pumped up. So it's going to be really close, and we're going to need the offense to make a big play, so just be ready. I'm forewarning you now. It's going to be close. 3rd quarter or 4th quarter, offense is going to be on the field. We're going to be pinned back deep. We're going to need Torrey to come with the big catch, and I know he's going to be just the right man for the job.
Torrey, the only thing you know about Pittsburgh is kicking their ass. That's the only experience you've had with Pittsburgh. What do you think about this? Your first trip to Heinz Field and your first chance to experience all those things that BA is talking about.
It's just another game. At the end of the day, it's going to be a hostile environment. I got to see how it was, from our fan base, how everyone treated the coaches. Everything was just a little different in practice, and obviously the atmosphere was crazy. So, to go there, I'm expecting the same thing, but I've been in loud stadiums before, and I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah, is it really just another game? Really, is it just another game?
Is it another game that we prepare for just like every other week? Yeah. And now, is it the funnest game and the best rivalry in football and our most passionately hated team that we play against? Yeah. So it is another week, but at the same time, it's the atmosphere and the fun factor in the game is so high. So it's basically a playoff game in the middle of the season. The whole NFL loves it. All the fans love it, and we have a great week of practice preparing for them, and hopefully we'll have the same result as week 1.
Yeah, does it bother you now? this will be the second time you guys have played, and it's week 9. Does it bother you getting both matchups against Pittsburgh out of the way so early in the season? I mean, just go back since you've been here, the December games that these teams have played, and obviously you run into each other in the postseason, but does it bother you having both matchups out of the way, and you haven't even played anyone else in the division yet?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The last, 3 seasons have been completed, and we played them 3 times in 2 of those seasons. So potentially we could play them 3 times again this season. That'll be 3 times. We played them in 4 years, 3 times. So it's pretty crazy. You know, Pittsburgh's a team. I think it's fine because, you know, we go week 1, week 9, and then we'll just knock them out of playoffs week 18 or whatever it is.
We should clap for that one.
It'll be balanced out.
Right,
You know?
right. That's what we're looking for anyway. It is Monday Night Live. He's Brendan. I am Adejo. He's your host. He's joined this week by Torrey Smith, Glenn and Luke tagging along.
Am I really Brendan? I am Adejo.
He's Brendan Bieber in the show.
Brendan Bieber.
I'm Justin Bieber on steroids and a lot of blackness. This is the biggest Justin's ever been.
Right. Oh, correct.
Anywhere in his body.
Correct. Can you sing that, Justin? What's the chance you can drop like a little baby, baby, baby?
I got way too much. You hear how deep my voice is? I got the Milo deep voice. Like,
Can't hit this.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.